Welcome to Architectural Digest. Today, we're diving into the world of New York apartments with our expert architect Mohab Walid. He's here to walk us through 5 of the most common apartment types you'll find in this iconic city. Whether you're dreaming of moving to the Big Apple or just curious about these unique living spaces, Mohab's insights will give you a feel for what it's like to call one of these apartments home. So grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and get ready to explore the heart of New York City living. So you're picturing yourself in a New York City apartment. You wake up maybe with a view of the Chrysler Building, and the city's energy is palpable even from inside your cozy space. That cozy space might just be a studio apartment. Now, don't let the word studio fool you. It's not just for artists anymore. Studio apartments are like the chameleons of the apartment world. They're small, yes, but they're also incredibly versatile. Think of it as open concept living at its most efficient. Your kitchen, living room, bedroom, it's all one beautiful, flowing space. Now, I know what you're thinking, Joanna, where do I put all my stuff? And that's the beauty of a studio. It forces you to be creative, to really prioritize what matters most. Maybe you invest in a Murphy bed that folds away during the day, or maybe you use curtains to create separate rooms within the space. The key is to think vertically. Shelving is your best friend in a studio apartment. Use it to store books, display art, and keep your belongings organized. And don't be afraid to get creative with furniture. A small dining table can double as a desk, and a comfy armchair can become your go-to reading nook. Light is another important factor in a studio. Since you have one main living space, you want to maximize the natural light as much as possible. Keep the windows unobstructed and consider using mirrors to reflect light throughout the apartment. Living in a studio is all about embracing a less is more mentality. It's about simplifying your life and focusing on what truly brings you joy. And in a city like New York, where there's always something happening outside your door, sometimes the smallest spaces can feel like the biggest adventures. All right, let's talk one-bedroom apartments. These are like the older, slightly more mature sibling of the studio. You're still in that classic New York City apartment vibe, but with the added luxury of a separate bedroom. I mean, let's be honest, who doesn't love a good bedroom door to close at the end of a long day? One-bedroom apartments are perfect for those who want a little more privacy and separation between their living spaces. You've got a designated area for sleep, and your living room can actually be a living room, not just a place where you stumble over your unfolded laundry. Now, one-bedroom apartments in New York can vary widely in size and layout. You might find a cozy pre-war charmer with exposed brick and a decorative fireplace, or you might end up in a sleek modern building with floor-to-ceiling windows and a balcony overlooking a bustling street. But no matter the style, one thing remains the same, that precious bedroom. It becomes your sanctuary, a place to escape the city's hustle and bustle. You can finally invest in a proper bedside table, maybe even a reading lamp, without worrying about taking up precious square footage in your living space. And speaking of the living space, one-bedroom apartments often have more defined living and dining areas. You might even have room for a small breakfast nook or a dedicated work-from-home setup. The beauty of a one-bedroom apartment is that it gives you the freedom to create distinct zones within your home. You can have a cozy reading corner in your bedroom, a lively entertainment area in your living room, and a functional workspace tucked away in a corner. It's all about finding what works for you and your lifestyle. Now, if you're looking for an apartment with character, a true piece of New York City history, then let's talk lofts. These apartments are like living in a piece of art. They often have these incredible high ceilings, exposed brick walls, and these huge, beautiful windows that let in so much natural light. Lofts were originally industrial spaces, factories and warehouses, and you can still feel that history in the exposed beams, the ductwork, the raw, almost unfinished feel of the space. But that's what gives them so much charm. Now, designing a loft apartment is all about finding the balance between preserving those original industrial elements and creating a warm, inviting living space. You want to highlight the history of the building while still making it feel like home. One of the biggest challenges of loft living is figuring out the layout. Because you have this big open space, it can be tricky to define different areas without making it feel closed off or cramped. But that's also where the fun comes in. You get to be creative with room dividers, furniture placement, and different levels to create a space that's uniquely yours. Think about using area rugs, to define different zones like a seating area or a dining space. You can also use bookshelves or even curtains to create a sense of separation without completely closing off the space. And don't forget about lighting. Because lofts have such high ceilings, it's important to have a good mix of overhead lighting and task lighting to create a warm and inviting atmosphere. Living in a loft is all about embracing the open space, the history, and the industrial charm. It's about finding beauty in the unexpected and creating a home that's as unique and inspiring as the city itself. All right, now let's talk about a type of apartment that's quintessentially New York, the railroad apartment. Now, these apartments get their name from their unique layout. Imagine a train with its long, narrow compartments all lined up in a row. That's essentially what a railroad apartment is like. You enter into one room, and to get to the other rooms, you have to walk through the ones in between. Now, I know what you're thinking. Joanna, that doesn't sound very private. You're right, it's not the most conventional layout, but that's part of the charm. Railroad apartments force you to be creative with your space planning and to really think about how you want to live. One of the biggest challenges of a railroad apartment is creating a sense of separation between the different living areas. Since you don't have traditional hallways or doors separating the rooms, you have to get creative with furniture placement and design elements to create distinct zones. Think about using area rugs to define different areas like a living room, a dining area, and a bedroom. You can also use bookshelves, curtains, or even plants as room dividers to create a sense of privacy without blocking the flow of light and air. Another thing to keep in mind with railroad apartments is furniture placement. Because you have to walk through one room to get to the next, it's important to choose furniture that's streamlined and doesn't obstruct the flow of traffic. And finally, don't underestimate the power of lighting in a railroad apartment. Since you have a long, narrow space, it's important to have plenty of light sources to brighten up the rooms and create a sense of openness. Living in a railroad apartment is all about embracing the unique layout and finding creative ways to make it work for you. It's about thinking outside the box, maximizing every square foot, and creating a home that's as charming and unconventional as the city itself. And finally, let's talk about duplex apartments. These are like the grand estates of the New York City apartment world. Okay, maybe not estates, but they do offer something truly special. 2 floors of living space. That's right, you get your own internal staircase. Duplex apartments are perfect for those who want a little more space and separation between their living areas. You can have your bedrooms upstairs, your living spaces downstairs, or any combination that works for you. It's like having a little house in the sky. Now, duplex apartments come in all shapes and sizes. You might find a charming pre-war duplex with exposed brick and a decorative fireplace, or you might end up in a sleek, modern building with floor-to-ceiling windows and a private balcony. One of the best things about duplex apartments is the sense of privacy they offer. Having 2 floors allows for a clear separation between your public and private spaces. You can entertain guests downstairs without worrying about disturbing someone who's trying to sleep upstairs. And speaking of upstairs, the staircase is often a focal point in a duplex apartment. It's a design element in itself. You can choose to highlight the original staircase or update it with a more modern look. Another great thing about duplex apartments is the flexibility they offer. You can use the extra space for a home office, a guest room, a playroom for the kids, or even a home gym. The possibilities are endless. Living in a duplex apartment is all about embracing the luxury of space and creating a home that truly feels like your own personal oasis in the city. It's about having the best of both worlds, the excitement and energy of New York City living with the comfort and privacy of a multi-level home. Well, there you have it, a glimpse into 5 of the most common types of New York City apartments. From the cozy charm of a studio to the spacious luxury of a duplex, there's an apartment out there for everyone in this incredible city. Remember, finding the perfect apartment is all about understanding your needs, embracing the unique character of each space, and making it your own. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insights into the world of architecture and design.